Hello, welcome back to AI Horizon. In our previous video, we didn't know what name we will create for this channel. And your favorite pit stop for all things AI and machine learning is here. Today, we have got a double whammy for you, an exploration into the fascinating world of Hugging Face and a sneak peek into the future of NPCs in gaming within the concept of SymbiotAI. But before we dive deep, you know the drill, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Stay with us on the AI side. Let's get started. Today with us again, Maxim. Nice to have you.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi, everyone.
Yes, hello. Nice to see you again. What Christmas? We are unwrapping not one but two mind-bending topics. First up, the powerhouse Hugging Face. So buckle up. Today we're gonna talk about Hugging Face, why it's so unique, and we need to figure out is it a competitor for Symbiot AI? Let's go deeper into new changes on Symbiote AI side. Max will shed some light when we can expect a huge opening of Symbiote AI. Secondly, we will touch base about AI in NPC in the worlds of games. As a Scrum Master, and for sure, I also have professional deformation and want to ask you, Maxim, for how are you doing today and what was changed in Symbiote AI from the last week? As I know, you are working so hard uh, on the platform, and our team was on 1 week vacation. How you manage all this stuff? What we can expect from Symbiote AI in the nearest future?
Yeah, we just finished our holidays and team was back. So, not much progress from our side because of all these holidays, but we still was able to do some progress. Not super fun progress because we did some legal stuff like policies for cookies, for legal for all legal stuff, I would say, and add everything on the website, add the acceptance from the users. So for now, at least we can send uh, emails for our users and offer them some discounts or some presents from our side. So it will be cool. And for now, we're focusing a lot about user engagement and getting the new users, find our early adopters, and it's a big priority for us. We do a lot of small tweaks for this stuff. Yeah, that's 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 it from our side, I think.
For sure, Max, but we are waiting for huge opening of Symbiote AI. I want to have a huge announce here online. So yes, let's introduce a little bit our audience about Hugging Face. Why I want to ask you about this because on our offline meetings you mentioned a lot Hugging Face. And for our viewers who might be new to this, what is Hugging Face and why is it such a buzz in the AI community?
If we are talking about Hugging Face, it became popular even before the Gen AI uh, was become popular. Uh, in general, we can think about Hugging Face as about GitHub for AI. A lot of people put the datasets, put their trained models, and do some simple kind of applications for demo their models and share it with the world. Um, so their business model based on the selling some enterprise stuff, but mostly it's a free stuff. And usually, when anyone wanna use some open source library, the Hugging Face, it's first choice to go to download it or try it. For example, Llama or Orca or other open source models. They're all, everyone hosts them on the Hugging Face. So yeah, it's a first choice for everyone.
Yeah, for sure. I also want to add my 5 cents to this topic. Uh, because Hugging Face is more just like more than just a platform. Yes, it's a community. And you mentioned that it's training models, it's training machine learning models. Also, it's help users to build, deploy those models. And it's like Swiss Army knife for data scientists and machine learning enthusiasts. So basically, it's good stuff.
But one thing that Hugging Face doesn't train their own model, but people who train the models host them on the Hugging Face. So it's important to know.
Very nice, lovely. Uh, listen, another question. I want to go deeper inside its Hugging Face and want to ask you how this Hugging Face is showing itself in the context of SymbiotAI. How does Hugging Face fit into the concept of SymbiotAI?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thanks for your question. For now, we don't have any integration with Hugging Face, but as we are integrating more and more with different AI models, we're going in the direction that we wanna start to use open source models more. It's more complex from the perspective of from the technical perspective, because we need to host somewhere our model open source models, so we need to run it somehow and spend some money, like more money usually for to do it. So maybe it's strange, but running the free model, it's more expensive than running uh, closed source model. So yeah, it's funny, but it is as it is. But still, we wanna do it. Our first try, it was a stable diffusion model for generation images. So we mentioned it last time that for now we're running it on the on our Discord, and people can try to generate images for free. But we have in the plans to integrate these models into our chats and into SymbiotAI. So it will be accessible soon for preview mode, but yeah, it will be our first model which we're gonna download from the Hugging Face. So as I said, the everyone hosts their models on the Hugging Face. So yeah, it will be the first integration. Other thing that, for example, Hugging Face provides the endpoints infrastructure, so it's possible to use their infrastructure to getting access to the models and getting execution of the models. But it's a little bit too expensive for us because we want to use a lot of different models, but Hugging Face charges for uh, each model, I would say. So if we would like to add 100 models, we will need to pay for 100 endpoints. So which is not super fit for us. It fits for a lot of companies, and usually companies don't use a lot of models, one or two. But for us, it's crucial.
Yes, it's true. But you mentioned that you want to integrate only one model from Hugging Face. Do you know exactly how much Hugging Face have models inside it?
Thousands of them.
A lot.
Yes,
And a lot of databases, yes, and demo apps.
datasets. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Uh, so they have like the same models like Symbiot AI have, or they have.
They don't have closed source models because for this moment, SymbiotAI using um, only closed source models like OpenAI, Google, Gemini, and Palm, uh, Cohere, Anthropic, Cloudy. So these models doesn't provide uh, their these companies doesn't provide their models for free or for open source. They're closed source models, so it's not on the Hugging Face. We are just
Yeah.
using the API for it.
It's very nice. So Maybe I missed something, but how Hugging Face can be our competitor?
In theory, they could. In theory, they could because they have this apps concept, and if they would like to mm, improve this stuff, in theory, they will be kind of competitors, not fully, but from the perspective of providing the interfaces, it's kind of good thing from the for users, but mostly I don't see that big competition between us because Hugging Face it's more a thing for developers and more a thing for AI specialists, data engineers, machine learning specialists, and so on. And we're doing interfaces for the end clients, and we kind of can have some competition uh, between us, but in theory we're more in the cooperation state.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to add, I don't know, what advantages can we leverage from Hugging Face more instead of that model?
Well, if they will provide super cool interfaces, for example, in their apps, which we can import and use on our websites, probably we'll be able to integrate it and make some tests, like easier way to execute the models. At this moment, they don't provide like they provide this interface, but it's not really useful. Like it's super hard to use, and the model how you can integrate it, it's not fit for us. And yeah, and other thing that if we would like to train some models, maybe host some data, like we'll collect some data and would like to um, open source these data sets and train our own models. So yeah, we probably in the future will be hosting it on the Hugging Face as well.
Mm-hmm. So you have a lot of examples like Hugging Face. And how do the advantages of Hugging Face align with the strengths of SymbiotAI and why is SymbiotAI is better? Because you probably want to be better on that market.
Yeah, we kind of have different markets because if we're talking about why we better, we're better for end user, for a non-technical person who has no experience with development, who has no experience with coding, and not super deep in this area of AI. Like the person can be deep in the AI, but not from the technical side. And we provide the interface, which is easy for the users. We're focusing on the creating beautiful and good from the UX perspective interfaces. So to make it easy for people to use different models together and just combine them, output from one model, combine with use as input for another model. So that's thing which we provide. From the Hugging Face perspective, they are providing more stuff for development, more stuff for companies maybe because they're providing APIs. Like their main model of the income is selling the endpoints, maybe selling support for like help for the companies for big enterprises, and yeah, like. If we would like to go in this direction, yes, we'll be competitors because we'll provide the models for other companies and support for our companies. But for now, we are not much of the competition. So we have our own areas, close areas, but still separated.
Yes, sound ambitious. And I wish that everything will be like you said. Okay, let's talk about a little bit about AI in NPC. Imagine playing a game where every interaction with an NPC feels unique. Your choices matter, and the characters remember them. It's not just gaming; it's storytelling at a whole new level. The potential for emotional connections with virtual characters becomes limitless. That, that is one question to you. Probably our viewers, they might be new to the term like AI NPC, or maybe they're not such a good players in computer games, probably. And why AI NPC? Uh, it's like a big deal in gaming.
I think that we should start from the explaining the term NPC for our uh, people who watch us. And yeah, well, NPC is usually neutral player character in the games, which usually it just have a few answers. Like for example, in some games like World of Warcraft or something like this, uh, the player can came to some character and take some quests, for example, or some character will open the shop for it. So it's kind of way to interact with the world, one of the ways of interaction with the world. And usually it's you can interact with real players, for example, if it's an online game with other people, and you can interact with such kind of NPCs, which usually kind of scripting, so they have super limited amount of actions which they can do. And with generative AI, we have completely different way to interact with NPCs. We can create an NPC which remember how you interact with it, which can answer your answer you in a natural language, and interaction with such character can affect the game itself. So and affect in the limitless amount of different ways how we can use it. One example which was shown when GPT-4 was released is when I don't remember who created it, but it was kind of simulation of the game called Small Will. Uh, the guys who did it, they created 25 agents, AI agents, which was each of them it was a character. They described uh, some history of this character, put it in there. They developed some kind of history of this character, so when one character interact with another character, they remember what happens. And it was an example that somebody invites other somebody decided to create a party like Valentine's Day party and started to invite other characters to its party. So yeah, and in general they interact with each other like usual people. Like they talk with each other, they have some dialogues, they have some because of their history which was uploaded in them. They talk with each other with some specific, so it wasn't like the same character, but it was really different characters with their interests, with their like it was different. It was different, and yeah, it was a good simulation, but it wasn't something which was developed for a long time. It was just stuff which people do kind of for fun or for check what's possible or not. But I would expect some really big companies came in there, and maybe in this year I would expect uh, some of the big players will release something on the stage. And I think some game with open world full of the AI based characters will be pretty cool. And if it will be online or even single player, it still will be interesting in the both options.
For sure. All right, shortly speaking, NPC stands for non-playable character, and it's those character. it's not it's not like following a script, but making decisions based on artificial intelligence. It's like you mentioned, it's like normal people, which is uh, yeah, have different behaviors and acting based on situation.
Yeah, and at least these characters won't be so toxic as usual people in the games.
They can't be toxic, or they can
Yeah,
be.
if somebody would like to create such a character which is toxic, yeah.
I
But
think
in general, I think the game creators won't create a toxic character, so
okay, so
probably
we
it
can
would.
eliminate toxicity
Yeah,
in that gaming
yeah.
world. So sounds incredible. So how AI can improve NPCs in games? How can AI elevate the gaming experience when it comes to NPCs?
Yeah, so we can we can generate the text for these characters, but it's not the full stuff which we can do. It's not limited by the text because we can do the interactions, so we can decide. These characters can decide what they will do. So I would say that it won't be kind of NPC already, because if such character will be powered by, I don't know, for example, GPT-4, it became like pretty smart stuff, like pretty smart thing. And if we will combine it with some algorithms which can play with the characters, probably we can, for example, solve the problem that some players waiting for queues, and we can create some players which will play for the level of the other players and kind of limit themselves. And people will play with teams, and they won't know if it's real person or if it's AI playing with them. So I won't be surprised if we'll see some in some near future something like this, like some character which talking with you with voice, like in a voice chat or in text chat, interact with you. I don't know, shooting with you or do some quests with you. Yeah, so I think it would be much more interesting than it's for now.
Yeah, we'll see. That future is coming, and it's coming very fast.
Yeah.
And we don't know yet what we can expect. So Maxim, what's your favorite game? Maybe what character you want to create?
Yeah, I don't play for a long time. Last last game which I was playing it was Overwatch. Yeah, so maybe in Overwatch it will be the team from the AI characters. So yeah, I was playing Lineage 2 before in my past, Dota 2. So different games was in my life.
Yeah, I played Overwatch 2 as well, and I wanted to create a NPC team, and for sure create less toxicity inside the game, because why I stopped to play because of those people which are saying very bad words during all games.
Yeah, probably you didn't play Dota and don't know how
I
how
don't
people
want.
can be toxic, how toxic they can be.
I had such guys during my study when I was student. I was living with some guys. They was playing. They was, oh my goodness. They was telling a lot of bad stuff, and it was very crazy. One guy was crushed his laptop. So
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know. Uh, okay, Maxim, what's the future for AI-powered NPCs, and where do you see this technology heading?
Hmm.
Or you probably
Probably it's definitely will be the future. Mm. But I would say that it's not only NPCs which can be powered by AI, because AI also used for generating the worlds as well. So we can generate not only the character like players, but we can generate other content for the games. So the I would expect that the games will be generated much more online in real time than pre-created. So for now, we have some games which using some for example, generating some zones for playing, but we can generate it much more with Gen AI. So just imagine that we can game which generates some rounds, generate some environment, generate some players, characters, and it's kind of a limitless game. So the game won't be limited in the content, because usually the problem with the games that you start to play with it, you complete all missions inside the game, and that's it. It's finished. Like the story was finished because the story was written by someone, and like it has some limitation. It's kind of, if you try to play it the second time, it can be kind of different because the latest games try to do this stuff to make some um, different threads of the different kind of part of the story of the same story. It depends on your decisions, but still it was hard coded in the game, so the game won't create a new stories for you. But with Gen AI, it's possible to create completely new stories while you're playing, and it can be limitless. Like it can be play forever, and you'll have a new content.
Yeah, I agree with you, Maxim. So I see that the line between AI and reality in gaming is getting blurrier, but I can be afraid if that line between AI and reality, in usual reality, is also getting blurrier. What do you think about it? Are you scared of
Well,
stuff?
no, I'm excited. Yeah, because I would expect that not only games, but for example, Meta do a lot of stuff in this direction to create metaverses. So the places which are not completely game, but a virtual reality for people. So they bought Oculus, so the glasses of virtual reality. They created their metaverse, probably, which will be powered by Llama 2 or Llama 3 version. So it will be full of NPCs, which based on um, their models. Um, so you'll be able to go in there and live in there. And I would say that it won't be so long time when it became normal. And probably the excited thing that it won't be only the game. It can be kind of a place where people can do something. Because for now, all the stuff we're doing, we try to do on our screens, and we spend a lot of time in our screens, but it's not super natural for people to see the screen like flat screen and live in there. But with virtual reality, we put our brain in more realistic world, still virtual world, but more realistic, because we remove the physical world limitations, like for example speed. I don't know how fast we can move from one place to another, how much time we spend in trips in road to, I don't know, go to work, and still we can interact with each other. It would become better and better. Like our experience would become better and better. And for the brain, really the difference between real world and the virtual world would be less and less. So, for example, if you would like to work from office, you won't need to work from office. You can work from home, but still will be in the same way to kind of work from office. Or for example, extended reality is other thing that, for example, somebody can be inside the office and in some extended reality glasses just see your avatar which flying or walking near them. Yeah, because for example, the virtual realities usually generate some avatars which are flying because the stuff which taking you, they can take your face, but won't you won't go through the flat, and your legs are not in there. I think on the demos of meta realities, this metaverse of Meta, I don't remember how it's called. They did these avatars which are flying, so without legs. Yeah, but with Gen AI you can generate the legs, so it became more natural and looks more natural.
Very nice. It's very interesting. Imagine that for me, I love to cooperate with AI and I want to do it in the future, but I'm not sure I want to don't understand if I'm living in a real world or in virtual. I'm not sure I'm ready for it. Uh, yes.
People wasn't ready to use social networks when they became reality. People won't be ready to any new technology. People won't be ready to internet, to cars, to fly in the airplanes. Somebody still doesn't ready for it and afraid of it. So yeah, people always afraid of anything new, anything which they
And it's
don't get used to
normal.
it. Yeah, but for now nobody afraid of using smartphone, for example. But for the first time, people was afraid to use cell phones because oh maybe it's radiation or maybe it's something else. So yeah,
Yeah, but still my grandma and grandpa is afraid of smartphones. They
yeah,
think that there is a lot of radiation they put inside that, I don't know, inside the box. They put it inside the bag. After that, they put inside the box. They
yeah,
put
yeah.
in a different room, and they're very scared of it. And I'm not. I really don't want to talk with them about AI. They will probably never understand it at
Yeah,
all.
I don't remember who told this thing, but I like it that the advanced enough technology looks like a magic for people who doesn't ready for it. So yeah, it the world became more magical for a lot of people, for more and more people.
Yes, and I'm just recognized as they was putting blanket on TV. So
Yeah, that's funny.
yes, this is true. Believe in that word. So okay. Okay, Max, I think we will be wrap up for today. And for our audience, if you found this breakdown of Hugging Face and its synergy with SymbiotAI intriguing, and now some information about NPC world, give it a thumb up and let us know in the comments what other AI topics you would like me to cover and Max to answer on my questions for sure. As always, stay curious, stay informed, and I will catch you in the next one. So thank you, Max, for today's session.
Thank you, too.
Yeah,
Bye.
bye now.